What have you been doing?
Well, I've worked on and off with Dave Mullen and Butter.
Okay.
Dave Mullen's incredible sax player who is on my CD.
Okay.
And right now he's focusing on New Orleans music.
Okay. Okay.
Work with Dave Mullen. Obviously, the Nappy Head Funk Army, which there's nothing like it. Worked with the Clones of Funk down in Maryland.
Right. My boys, yeah.
Yeah. And some of the local bands, the B-side band, Chemistry 101, just doing all the local haunts.
Right. Now, you was telling me a little bit about, we obviously know New York, COVID, Long Island, but we was talking on the phone the other day, and you had mentioned that they were starting to open up a few small places on Long Island.
Yeah.
What are they doing with that?
Well, I mean, I don't know the details, but I was surprised to see that some of the clubs were opening up to small audiences and I guess testing things out on the weeknights.
Right.
I'm a little nervous about the venues getting packed too soon, too early.
Me too, man. Me too.
I think the clubs that have like outdoor seating, it's perfect this time of year because people want to get outside, get some fresh air, and with outdoor seating, you get some space.
You can get away, yeah. That concerns me, and that concerns me not just for New York, but for every state. What are you doing? Because musicians have to work. Bartenders and waitresses and cooks and chefs and people have to serve. Bar managers have to get paid. But are we putting our health at risk? Which I got to err on the side of caution. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm really scared because at some point I want my kids to go back to school. You know what I mean? It's like I do want them to finish their education at some point.
Yeah.
Well, it's scary here because the schools are empty. It's very weird. I live next door and across the street from a school. So there's a school next door to me. And it's funny you mentioned that because it's even more haunting not to hear the children at the school. It's like a ghost town.
Yeah, it's weird. And, kids can only hold it together, but for so long, especially the teenagers,
So can parents.
Yeah, right. Right. That's true. So, John, new music, the Groovalicious Project. All right. Tell us about that. How did it originate? When there's the release date? We're going to chop it up, and then I want to hear this first cut in a minute. But tell us a little bit about the first song in the project, and before we hear you play the first one.
Okay, well, the project started with basically just wanting to do a wide variety of music because when you play in certain bands or certain units, you play whatever that unit's focus is.
Correct.
And, over the years, I've kind of got this moniker for being a real funk cat and realized that, funk comes in so many shapes and forms. So if I put the project together, I would be able to just reveal that some other things I do, some smooth jazz, some funk, some R&B, some rock ballads, things like that. And the funny part is that if you strip these tracks down, the funk are all in there.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
So I actually had some fun putting together the unplugged tracks because I got to pull out the pieces that I really liked. And I was like, man,
right. Yeah.
A nice groove going on, man.
Okay. What's the name of this first song that you're going to play for us?
First song I'm going to do for you is a tune called 2 a.m.
2 a.m.? Okay. Now, besides the obvious, you was up at 2 a.m. writing it. what and I'm sure, I don't know, but I'm sure. But what is it the song about, and where did you come up with that title?
Well, when you're gigging, 2 a.m. is usually the sweet spot on the gig, man.
Yes.
That's you've already got the jitters out, everyone's warmed up, everyone's had a few drinks, everyone's cruising with you. 2 a.m. is the moment.
I love that analogy. That's beautiful. That's so sweet. See, that's the kind of stuff that I could only get from you, the pearls of wisdom.
You have to be there.
Spot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sweet spot. Boy, do I miss the sweet spot.
Oh, yeah. Man. We all do, man. I can't wait to get back to the stage.
Yeah, man. All right. So we got a little bit on that, the sweet spot. Yo, let's hear that song, man. 2 a.m.
All right. Let's hope that all of the sounds and levels are good.
It'll be all right, man.
And coming at you.
Turn the track up. Yo, that's what's up, man. And you can pump that track more too. The next song, you can turn the track up. Yeah, man. Yo, that's tight. We're gonna dissect that right there. I was telling Kim and Kid about the one, and you said nothing about that down, tick that up.
Yeah.
Down, tick that up. So I know we all record sometimes at different places. Most of us use K&M. Did you work with Kevin in his studio on this project?
I certainly did.
Okay.
I started the tracks, all the pre-production I did at home.
Right.
I did some work with Paul Frawley in his studio in Queens Village. Mm-hmm. And when I revisited the project, Kevin and I worked between Philly here in New York.
Yeah.
My tracks down, and he worked with it from there.
Right.
As you know, he's a great producer, man.
Yo, I know. That's believe me, he's the go-to guy. You know, he's the go-to guy. He does.
He's one of the guys that I've known him so long. I mean, we were in a jazz fusion band back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Like musically, I can start a sentence and he'll finish it.
Right.
We're connected like that.
Yeah, him and I talk about you all the time. I was telling you when I called you last week, man, we was talking about like what you do and how you do it. Nobody could do that, you know. Believe me, nobody can do that, and that's from the heart, you know. Because he'll say, "Oh, play something like that," and he'll give you like a phrase or a guide play something that would be behind Aretha Franklin or something, and you'll just know. You know, where do you think that comes from? Besides your gift of genius guitars and musicianship, where do you think all of that comes from? What kind of music did you grow up really listening to and performing?
Wow, I listened to so much. I listened to everything like guitar influences were obviously Jimi Hendrix, Carlos Santana, Tony Maiden from Rufus.
Yes.
Hiram Bullock, who was incredible guitarist.
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
The rhythm concept was unbelievable, man.
Yeah, Curtis was a pure genius. You know.
And then we had the P-Funk camp, Mike Hampton, Eddie Hazel, Glenn Goins, and who am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
Blackbird.
Yeah, Blackbird. So all of those guys are influencing also.
Yeah.
Music-wise, the classic cats like Sly and the Family Stone, which I really got a lot of influence from. Sly was the man.
Yeah.
And then following that, Graham Central Station was the real first live concert that had an impact on me. After GCS, I said, this is how music is supposed to be performed live.
Yes.
Strong, powerful, energetic, in your face, unapologetic, man.
Yes.
If you're going to come to the stage, come like that.
Yes. It's funny because even though, and you're right, even though I'm like a P-Funk head for sure, P-Funk wasn't my first concert. My first concert that you talk about, that first one that really impacts you. Yeah. My first one that impacted me was Mandrill. At the old Felt Forum, I saw Mandrill, and I was never the same. And like you, I said, that's how you're supposed to come. You know what I'm saying? They had the burlap bags thrown over all the amps. The stage looked like, this whole burlappy type hippie, like, hey, we just in the back of the truck type thing. But Mandrill was and then obviously, I got into Funkadelic, and then it was a wrap. But I like how you phrase that, because if you were talking to a young musician with all of the stuff that's out and so many choices and so many, I don't want to say easy paths, but I want to say easy paths to the music that you and I have to physically play. Yeah. What would you tell them about this whole arts, crafty, musical, universal thing,
Wow. Well, I would first want to let them know they're at a slight disadvantage in this time, because when we grew up, there was just a lot of bands and a lot of music was happening. Musicality was very different then than now. You had music that, had like real orchestration, real counterpoint. You could take Earth, Wind and Fire. You can take Kool and the Gang. You can take that stuff, and if you chart it out, it's incredible. The counterpoint is there, the harmonies, and not to mention the funk and the grooves. We came from an era where that stuff was in the music. Now, it's kind of the cut and paste era, and not, like I say, you strip down the tracks. To me, every track should be danceable. Every track, you solo it, I should be able to groove to that. Yeah. I don't see that in today's music.
Nah.
It's overproduced, in my opinion. Now, you have some great songwriters and great composers.
Yeah.
That soul and that spirit that's in each track, I don't see that.
Yeah. I miss that as well. And I like how you put that, the overproduction of it, because you know what I miss? I miss hearing the little mistakes that are perfect mistakes that's in every music. Your Beatles, your Hendrix, your Funkadelics, your Slides, Stevie stuff. You can hear it. He's like, I didn't mean to do that, but it fits. Prince was a master at that. You know what I'm saying? And I miss that, because like you said, it's overdone. It's just too perfect. And nothing in this life, especially music, is supposed to be that. It's supposed to be the yin and the yang of it. And that's one thing that I always appreciated about your playing. It's organic. technically organic, I guess is a word I would use, because you know what you're doing and where everything's supposed to go. And the organic spiritual side of you puts it in the right place. That's hard. That's something you have that very few have. You're in that same upper echelons of the Mike Hamptons and the Glenn Goinses and the Gary Shiders and the Jeff Becks. You're that. You're that. And people obviously know that. And if they don't, they know now. But they've been knowing that for years. That's why you're in such demand. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Andre LaSalle, who I'm trying to get on the show later on. How that started.
Wow, Andre and I, we grew up in the same neighborhood in East New York, Brooklyn. And the funny thing is, like, I heard about him, he heard about me, and our paths just weren't crossing. And one day, I'm like playing guitar like 1:30 in the morning, and I lived on the first floor, and his face popped up in the window. And it was Andy. And he said, "Yo, man, is your name John?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm John." He's like, "I'm Andy." I'm like, "Come on in here, man."
That sounds like him. Yeah, that's what he'd say.
And from there, man, we locked, man. We spent a lot of time, building our chops together, working on our sound together, and just being creative. And, as life has it, we came full circle many years later and got to play in the Nappy Head Funk Army together, which was like unbelievable.
That was an incredible gift that you guys brought. And I met Andy in Clayton's band. I was doing drums. And remember Clayton's band with Tanya? That's how I met Andy. He was a sub. I was a sub. He just called us, and we were going Deep Pocket, right? That was their band?
Yes, Deep Pocket.
Yeah, Deep Pocket. And I was doing drums. I didn't know anybody. And him and I were the first two at the rehearsal. So we just started vibing. And I was like, and we was just jamming on stuff, and I was like, yo, you sweet. I was like, you playing with your thumb? That's amazing. I only some other cat in my life ever do that. I was like, you a thumb guy? Yeah, the pick guy? He's like, nah, thumb. And him and I vibe. And then again, that universal love, man. He came in and was doing the thing, and so it's just I've been blessed. You text me one day, and we was talking last year, and I was kind of down, and I want people to know this man. I could always reach out to him to lift my spirits. And you said, man, you got a plethora of funk cats around you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're right. I do have access. No, you said I have access to it. But yeah, man. So tell us about this next song. And you can, again, we're here, Funk Music with Zack on IBM.TV on this beautiful Sunday morning. John is gracious enough to spend time with us from Queens, New York. And, tell us a little bit more about the Groovalicious project, this second track that you're going to play for us.
Okay, the second track I'm going to play, this I would say is, this is going to be like Munchies for Your Love.
Oh,
cream. Okay, so
please turn it up. Turn it up.
For the 4Ks, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I give you that description, man.
That's good enough. And yeah. So tell us what inspired that.
Wow. Okay. What inspired it? I tell you, my wife inspired that.
I thought of it, but I didn't want to say. Joan is beautiful. Yeah.
During the pre-production phase, I was writing some stuff, and I actually recorded the lead guitar track, one take, in the bedroom while she was laying there sleeping.
Oh man!
And so the muse factor doesn't come any tighter than that, man.
Yo.
And that's how that happened. I asked her to write me a letter describing how we met in our first date, and she took.
I know how you met.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
She wrote me a letter, and the guitar solo was the answer to the letter. So,
yo, I got to tell you, 2 weeks ago I had Vanessa Bartholomew and Emerald Harris on, and we were talking about their love connection. I said, man, y'all are like the MPLS Ashford and Simpson, but you guys are like the New York Ashford and Simpson, man, because I'm just in awe of how much you guys actually care for each other. And I don't mean that in no bad way, bro. I just know, you know, and I was at your wedding, so you know, it's beautiful. I love that story. That's a classic. All of this stuff is recorded and stored. So one day I'm gonna pull that out 10 years from now and show you this on IBM.TV. You know, here we are with John Groovalicious Willis. For you guys out there on YouTube and you guys on Facebook, check this brother out. Where can they find your project at and your new music at? Okay,
it's the CD itself has a release date of July 14th.
Woohoo!
It'll be available on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, basically all the distribution sites.
Cool.
You guys can also find it at my home website, which is thegroovaliciousproject.com. And just in case you wanted to spell it, that's GROOVALIC.
Yeah, I keep ER. My bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
My bad.
So there's thegroovaliciousproject.com. The Groovalicious Project at Facebook page. Also the Groovalicious Project at herenow.com.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's beautiful, man. It's so good to see your smiling face, man. I'm just like having all of these plethora of emotions, bro. I'm going through it, but you know, it just does my heart good. Your new music is awesome. What you do is awesome. You're a beautiful human being, man. So hit us with the name of this next track. Munchies?
No, the actual name of it is The Butterfly Effect.
Butterfly Effect.
The Butterfly.
I like that. Okay, and turn the track up, bro.
Okay, you got it. Hang tight.
Yo, off the hook. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, bro. You're too kind.
Too kind. Oh my goodness. Off the hook. The butterfly. What did you say? The butterfly?
The butterfly effect.
The butterfly effect. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo. Off the hook. Yo, I'm wearing my New York stuff for you today, but and my Queens. So, but
yeah.
Yo, brother, words. I got goosebumps. You can see, yo, I ain't kidding. I got there. They are. See what I'm saying? I got goop, yo. I'm sitting here sweating. I'm like, let me tell you. First of all, the song itself, the title is insane, and the bottom, the groove is just sitting there, and I can see how you portrayed your feelings for your wife in that song, in that solo. Oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. And I can see that like going straight to the top of every chart, everywhere, wherever, all around the world. The beautiful part about shows like this and the other venues that you're going to be on, your music covers everything. That song can be everywhere, It can be everywhere, man. Oh my goodness. I know right now you're that feeling inside, but I can see in the corner of my eye Kevin over there smiling somewhere. I can feel him. Yeah. He ain't even here. He's in Philly. I'm in North Carolina. I can feel that pride thing, man. You guys should be extremely proud. You, first of all, should be extremely proud of what you're doing with your music and just that sound. That sound. That's you. Nobody's doing that on this planet. Ever will, ever has, ever will. That style. I am. I got so many emotions to talk about that music and that drive and that track. Because the title and how you said it came about. When you was laying it down, you said you put that down in one take.
Yeah, that was one take. Usually, and I actually had planned to go into the studio and re-record it. It was a reference track. And what you hear on the CD was the first take, done in the bedroom.
Do not change that.
There was so many moments like that during this whole project where I'm like, okay, here's the pre-production tracks, and I'm ready to re-record things. And quite often, producer and engineer was like, why would you change that, man? I think it's just the way it is.
I know, because I'm listening to it and I was picturing you like laying there. I'm like, okay, there's been stories of cats that's done stuff like that. And the story of James Jamerson laying on his back playing Marvin Gaye, what's going on after he was, coming home from a late night. And I'm trying to picture you just doing that. And I'm like, man, that's divine. That's nothing but divinity right there. The funk guys and the man upstairs said, listen, boom, I want you to play this for me. You playing that for him. That track ain't for none of us. I heard like how you moaned for Eddie Hazel in there and Hendrix. I heard that. I heard how you paid your little signature amateurs to the cats that you just mentioned before and still put yourself into it. Because I heard it. It's like, that's all groove. That's like, oh my God. I'm shook up for the rest of the day, bro. I'm shook up. I'm shook up. Where do I go from there? I want to hear it again.
You're too kind, bro. You're too kind.
I want to hear it again. I'm shook. It's like you come on one of them records and you be like, oh man, play that first song. When we was back in the day with the record player, play that again. Yeah. Like the first time I heard Earth, Wind & Fire Power, I must have played it like 10 times in a row. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So this project, tell us a little more about it.
Okay, excuse me. Wanted to put together a CD that, like in the old days where you put on you get your album, you put the needle on the record, and just let it play through the tracks. I wanted to put something on that in such a way that it's a journey, it's a musical journey, and it starts off smooth, and then it just rides through. The first 3 tracks are smooth jazz mostly. Then I do 2 a.m., which introduces a little of the funk element. Then my son Kyle wrote a track on the CD as well.
He played bass. Okay, and he played bass on the track.
Yeah, he played bass on the track, and he wrote.
I love it. I told you he was welcome to be in the band. I didn't really mind. I know he's ready. You told me he was ready.
He's wow. Ready. He did bass on the CD, but he's really a guitarist.
Yes, Kevin told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. We sit here, we're mashing it up, and he's just sitting here playing guitar and playing stuff that I can't play.
Yo, he got it from you though. He got it from you. I know. I seen him. I see them watching you play, so I know.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's an amazing thing to have. Besides the musical gift you have this plethora of love around you, bro, and it illuminates you. It does, man. And you went through something a couple of years ago, that was touching. That I gave you a lot of credit and strength and courage for, and you overcame a certain cancer that you had. And tell me at that moment, how serious was it with that interacting in your music career?
Oh, well, it had to be just put on hold. I had to focus on the health. And musically, I wasn't doing anything, but the music family reached out to me at key points, man. When you're going through the whole chemo thing, it's a rough ride. Anyone that's done it understands it. And for me, there were moments where my spirit was low and the phone would ring, and it's one of the cats. Hey, man, I'm just checking on you. They have no idea how important and how timely those calls were that came in. You picked me back up, and gave me a restart, hit the reset button for me. And my musical family, thank goodness, is tremendous. In this business, you meet some cats, and then that cat introduces you to this cat, and then that branch reaches that branch. So it goes on. And I had a lot of, cats that reached out to me. So I had family. I had coworkers, I had musicians, so everybody, helped keep me up spiritually during that time, which is important. I've always been a positive mind. I'm like a glass half full kind of guy to begin with.
Always, yeah, man. Yeah.
I wake up in the morning, I'm happy every morning, because I'm like, I'm up. That was an important part of my recovery, and. Actually, the first track on the CD was the first song I wrote once I was recovered.
Right.
Sundance. And I played that, and it felt good. I'm like, you know what? Let me just finish developing this into a full track. And it was significant, I'm a sun person. I felt good. I felt healthy again, and I got a chance to capture it in the music. So when you listen to the first track, Sundance, that's where that was coming from.
Yeah. And tell the audience again when the release date is.
Those
just tuning in.
Tuesday, July 14th.
Okay, that's great, man. I'm gonna make sure I bombard my page that day. I'll set a reminder for myself because you're incredible and you're a gift to this planet. I'm not really from this planet. Renee Billy says awesome. She says awesome. You're getting comments on Facebook already, but awesome. Yeah, I'm not from here, but I appreciate what I'm a hybrid, but I appreciate all the human stuff. That's why I connect with all. You notice I only connect with the best. You know what I'm saying? Because the rest, I'm like, the rest of the human beings, they want to fight and argue and all this other stuff. I want to be around people like you. Because that keeps me uplifted, man, while I'm down here doing what I do. Mark Lee, one of the producers at IBM as well, said, amazing guest, there are going to be times when we're down and up, and you've been that, the glass half full guy for me all the time. And I can't get enough of what you do. And you know, we got to touch on this because it's the elephant in the room. Although, you know, we still got time, and you know, you got another track for us. But I have to ask you, not so much the movement, but so much the solutions. Because Kim, our producer, and Kevin, they have the same mindset too. They just don't know it because they're always talking about what's the solution. All right. So how do you feel, first of all, obviously as an Afro-American man making music in this country, right? And knowing that you could walk out your door, no matter what you've done creatively, you could get heard.
Wow. I tell you, it's amazing what you get acclimated to and accustomed to. You should never walk with fear, but you know, you're forced to do simple things. Like, you know, I don't keep my documents in a glove box. My documents in the car are kept in a compartment right below
Right
the
there. Yep, right there.
You know, and I've always, you know, I was raised to be a polite individual and try to be articulate and immediately differentiate yourself from the preconceived notion, the guy that they're always putting on the 6 o'clock news. You know, try to establish that immediately when I encounter anyone of authority. You know, so you deal with me, not the image or what's portrayed. And I kind of pass that on to my sons, pass it on to my students, as a matter of fact. You know, survival 101 in the world of today. You know, how to carry yourself, how to interact with law enforcement individuals. Now, in terms of solutions, I don't claim to have any solutions. I mean, to me, all this is simple. Life is simple. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and all this goes away. And you know, you stop thinking about the differences in people and start thinking about the similarities. If I don't know you and I want to approach a conversation, it's from a position of what do we have in common, not the obvious differences. I mean, you turn out the lights, all the obvious differences disappear. We have nothing left but to find out what we have in common, you know, and that's the real solution. And without getting like, you know, super political or, you know, it's America has a long-term problem. It's a long-seated problem, and nothing's going to change overnight. Nothing's going to change without much strife. You know, historically, we know nothing's changed easily in America. It's going to take work.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some camaraderie.
Yeah.
It really is. And I always have this that I share with everyone, and this is the beauty of music. I always say we need to put emphasis on the things that we share, you know, things we like together. We all can take a room full of people who don't speak the same language, who have no cultural things in common, and you know what they'll all do? They'll do this to the music, man, in sync.
Yep.
That's right. Common thread right there.
Yep.
No words spoken. And you've seen it at shows where you hit the groove in the concert and you look at somebody, you don't even know a person, but you're there, you're like, yeah, we're feeling that. To me, that's the magic of music, man.
Yeah.
It's a universal language that's second to none, man.
Yeah. Yo, what you said is so deep and poetically said so smoothly. And I like, there's a song in there somewhere when you said turn out the lights and all our differences. I'm taking note because that's the song right there. If you turn out the light, because like you said, musically, we're just, and you know, being musicians and artists, you know, especially from New York, we're like, well, if you can play, you can play. White, black, Puerto Rican, Spanish, you know, mixed, don't matter, you know? And I think that's one of the gifts I tell people all the time, you know, I'm so blessed to be able to do this thing because the people that I've met it opened, you know, as a kid, you know, you're in the first band in school. You're playing with different people. The band was the band, you know, playing whatever. It didn't matter the color. It was like, what instrument are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't matter what color, you know. And like you said, man, we're in a long-term fix. But the beauty is, you know, Kayla Maya, 12 and 16 now, your nieces. So they're pretty big now. And their generation is going to hold it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I've been out at a few of the protests and watching the rainbow come together. And I think, okay, we didn't turn the corner, but at least we're approaching the corner, you know. And as long as you and I can be here to keep this funk music alive and music alive, it'll rub off on a few of them, and maybe they'll get it. You know, maybe they'll get it, man. It's amazing. Again, here we are. Funk Music with Zack live, 12 p.m. on IBM.TV. John Willis. He's been like an amazing guest. We got some more time to spend with him. We got one more song that he's going to do. And we've talked about a lot of stuff. You know, you can get into it. You guys can always go back on IBM.TV and follow it. YouTube, Facebook Live. It'll be there. Just look it up. Super Sunday, you know, is the whole show. And then I got my little segment. And believe me, you know, this is just the first of many for you. So just prep your mind for that. Prep your mind for that. I just want to keep you prepped. Eric J just put out something. Did you play on that? Stay on Code. Did you do that project?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I was interested because I'm trying to get him on to come on, you know, and I you know, he texted me the other day and he's like going to come on. But I was trying to figure out how all of us could get together and just improv something, you know what I mean? And I'm working on that, you know, like Kevin Philly, you there, Prez where he is, you know, because we kind of might need to try and give that a stab at some point too. But I'm working on it. I'll keep you posted on that.
You know what? Something might already be in the works because the last session I did with Prez up in Newburgh, after we finished the session, I said, roll the tape, man. So I'm going to give you some funk for nothing. And we'll just roll the track.
I like that, funk for nothing.
Oh, yeah. And he said, oh, man, that's a whole nother track. So we need to take that track and pass it around, let everybody put something on it and see what comes of it. And I really think that's a great idea, a great way to do it.
For sure. And you know what? For that, I'll drive to Philly to get with Kevin his place. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not contagious or anything, and I'm healthy, and it would just be me in my car there and back. So when we're ready to make that happen, let me know and then tell me what y'all want me doing. I'll be more than happy, man, because that'd be so sweet. You know, that'd be so sweet. It's amazing to see your face again. You have no idea how happy I am, man. Such a beautiful spirit, man. You are. So tell us about this next track, this last one you gonna play for us, man. It's
okay.
Name and you know.
This track was co-written along with me by Nancy McDuffie.
Okay.
And we wrote this track a long time ago. And the fact that it still feels good means it's timeless and it's worth it's worth a spot on the CD.
Yeah.
The tune is "Don't Burn Me Out," and you know that it's made for the working man.
Yeah. So who is Nancy? Who is she?
Nancy McDuffie. Wow. Nancy is she is like the quadruple threat. She's done plays. She's a songwriter. She's done TV. She's just incredibly.
I know the name. Yeah. I know the name. Yeah.
She's part of KM Entertainment.
Okay. Yeah.
She's also done music videos.
Okay.
She does it all.
Okay, yeah. Now it's because you know me with names. I'm like, I go by a nickname. That's why, you know, for me, my memory shot. So everybody that I know, and now I'm putting the two together. You know, I get where she was done, and I'm trying to get Kevin the wear it out so we can, you know, finish doing what we're doing with our video stuff. But that's another subject. But yeah, so cool. I'm anxious to hear it. So you guys co-wrote this song.
Yeah. A long time ago, we co-wrote it.
What's the name of it?
Don't Burn Me Out.
Don't Burn Me Out. Gotcha. Yeah. Don't Burn Me Out. All right. So you know, give us a little bit of Don't Burn Me Out, man.
Okay.
Don't spare it.
Okay. Hold tight.
Do you? I love it. John Groovalicious Willis right here live on IBM.TV, yo. The man's amazing guitarist and spiritual human being and teacher and father and husband.
Sorry about that. Trying to get it together here.
Take your time, bro. Ain't no rush. Ain't no rush, man. I'm going to give you the whole screen. Like, I love to see everything when you're doing it. So go for it. Yes, that was John Groovalicious Willis, doing his thing, the Groovalicious Project. Definitely one of my favorite guitar players of all time to work with, to be involved with, as well as all his personal things that he does, and family man and brother and, father and, teacher of the arts. So very, very much so, we've been vibing together for many, many years, John and I. And we also actually have worked on several projects together, worked in several bands together. We played for many, many years on that New York funk circuit when Wetlands and CBGBs and, the Izzy Bar and the Red Lion and Lions Den and all that stuff was out. And I'll tell you a quick story. We was playing, John wasn't in the band, and he actually came to the second Nappy Head show And we were still raw, just learning everything. And I was trying to build the band, and he was standing in the audience, and we played a song called Alice in My Fantasies by Funkadelic. So John was on the side of the stage, and the keyboard player I was using, his name is Eric Wilson. We called him Pearl. He was like, yo, John wants to play, so I didn't invite him up. But what I did is the next time we had a rehearsal, I said, yo, why don't you come to the rehearsal? So he came to the rehearsal, and I heard him play like 5 seconds. And I was like, you're in. It was no doubt about it. I was like, you're in, and he dug it because Pearl, the keyboard player, William Bush, Prez, Kevin Harrington, John Willis, Andre LaSalle, John Purvis, they all came from that New York City funk rock coalition, and they all were part of the Vernon Reid Black Rock Coalition that Vernon Reid and Ronnie Drayton and all them were doing. So we're going to see if we can get John back on for a hot second, just so we could say, goodbye to him. But, it's like if John were a car, he would be a Maserati. If he was a basketball player, he'd be like Dr. J or Michael Jordan. He's just that good at everything he does. Some people you meet and they have talent and they can do a lot of things, and then you meet these people that like he said, he played the song laying back in his bed. How do you do that? That's divinity right there. You know what I mean? And just to think the thought process of how you create music and how we create this stuff. All musicians have their own way, and I always use the analogy like if you're in a factory and somebody dips you in chocolate and you get some of the funk, but then sometimes the funk gods just take the whole bucket and dump it onto you, like they did with Prince, Stevie Wonder, people like that, George Clinton, Bootsy, of course. They just dump it on. And John was there when they dumped it on. You know what I mean? Me, I might have got dipped in, but some cats are just so talented, literally he could play the song in his sleep because that's what he did. He was laying down. And that, to me, I love that story. Incredible story. You can follow us, Funk Music with Zack, every Sunday on IBM.TV at IBM Music. And it's called Super Sundays. The whole show is phenomenal. Beautiful kids shows. People from Africa and Asia and all around the world are checking it out every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, right here, Funk Music with Zack. We're always going to have special guests on. We're always going to, try to enlighten you with the positive affirmation. We're always going to try to uplift and promote what we do here at IBM.TV. And that's very important. There's always shows going on. T-Funk says, hello, John. T-Funk says, that's my dude. Yeah, man, he's my dude too, T-Funk. I'm feeling you, brother. We're always going to try and bring you things that you wouldn't normally see or hear. And since it's uncut, it's even better because I'm just trying to get John on the line right now. Since it's uncut and it's even better, sometimes you get raw emotion mixed with creativity, mixed with spontaneity. And that's where you have something special. And John plays everything like that. He was in the studio on my project and he just did it. I wasn't even there. I just came back and was like, yo, keep that, man. Let me just see if I can get him back on just to say goodbye. And, we're going to finish talking about what he brings to the table. And if you're a musician out there and you want it and you want that feel, this is the guy to call. This is one of the guys. This is one. There's plenty of them, but do not neglect and call this guy. You won't be sorry if he's on your music. Let me just see if I can get him back in for 1 second. Again, Funk Music with Zack on IBMTV. We're going to see what's going on. And, things happen sometimes when the music is getting too good.